Good morning. We are going to begin the digestion in human beings. In the last class, you have learned about the digestion in the buccal cavity, which involved the role of salivary glands, teeth, and tongue. Today, we are coming to next part, that is the esophagus. Esophagus is a long tube and that carries the food from buccal cavity to stomach. Now, esophagus is generally a muscular tube. It is made up of muscles. These muscles contract and relax, and as a result of these contraction and relaxation, the food reaches the stomach by the process that is known as peristalsis. Now, next part of your digestive system is the stomach. Now, stomach is a bag-like structure that is present in the left side of the upper abdomen, and the stomach has three parts: cardiac, fundic, and pyloric. The stomach releases the gastric juice, which contain hydrochloric acid, pepsinogen or pepsin enzyme, and mucus. Now, every component of gastric juice has its own function. The HCl kill the germs as well as it activate the enzyme pepsinogen to pepsin. The pepsin begin the digestion of proteins and convert them into peptones. The mucus is covering the inner lining of the stomach so that it can be well protected from the action of HCl. Now, carbohydrate digestion, which you have learned, which got started in the buccal cavity, is now it gets stopped in the stomach because the stomach has the acidic pH. Now, as soon as the food reach the stomach, it mixes well with the gastric juice and changes into a semi-solid material that is known as chyme. Now, the next part for our digestive system is the small intestine. Only the name is the small intestine, and this is the longest part. The small intestine is divided into three parts: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. The duodenum is the part where digestion is completed, whereas jejunum and ileum are involved in absorption of digestive food. Now, the duodenum receives the secretion from the accessory glands, that is from liver, from pancreas and small intestine itself. Liver releases bile, pancreas releases pancreatic juice, and small intestine releases intestinal juice, which is also called succus entericus. Now, let us see the function of each of them one after the other. The first is bile from liver. This is stored in gallbladder. The bile is having no enzyme, but still it is very important for digestion. The bile performs the two functions. First, it converts the acidic chyme to alkaline, and second function is that it breaks down the bigger fat molecule to smaller so that the enzyme can digest the fat. This process of breaking down of bigger molecule to smaller is called emulsification of fats. Now, the next secretion is pancreatic juice and intestinal juice from pancreas and small intestine respectively. They contain many enzymes like chymotrypsinogen, carboxypeptidase, lipase, sucrase, peptidases, maltase, and all these enzymes digest the complete food. That is, the carbohydrate is completely digested to glucose, the proteins are completely converted to amino acids, and fats are completely changed to fatty acids and glycerol. That means the duodenum is the part where digestion is over. Now, the next part is jejunum and ileum, which is involved in the absorption part of the food. Now, the ileum is having the finger like projections, and these finger like projections are called as villi. You can see the figure of villi, and these villi are actively involved in absorption because they have large surface area, because they are richly supplied with blood, and they have thin delicate membrane. After the food is absorbed, it is further assimilated. Assimilated means it is carried to different parts and it is stored there for further use. That's all for the day today. Thank you. Do see the video again, and in case of any doubt, you can call.